Hey, what's up everyone? Tedrick85 here, and welcome to my Swansea City career mode here on FIFA 16. And for those of you that did not, have not been following my channel, especially yesterday, knows that I started a FIFA 15 career mode with West Ham United. And, but yeah, I'm gonna be going back to previous FIFAs and that because, yeah, for those of you that, may or may not know, which I know I just said that, but, I'm not getting FIFA 25 this year. There is absolutely nothing that I've seen from FIFA, or should I say FC 25, that makes me want to buy it. So I'm just going to go back to playing some of the older FIFA games that I actually have enjoyed, especially these older FIFAs right here. But we are going to be going ahead. We are going to be playing as Swansea City. And before I talk about this particular career mode and get in depth, hope you guys have an awesome day today. Hope you guys doing well. But you can see, take a look at Liberty Stadium. It has a capacity of over 20,000 people, and it was built in 2005. Now, Swansea City is a team that I have developed a soft spot for over the years, especially since they got promoted to the Premier League in the early 2010s. But yeah, I was happy whenever they were in the Premier League. They ended up winning the League Cup during that time. I believe it was at the in the 2012-2013 season, if memory serves me right, which I will have that information in the description below, a little brief history of this club. But, yeah, that is the first major trophy, the League Cup. They ended up beating Bradford City 5-0, and that was under the guidance of Michael Laudrup, which is the name of our manager here in this career mode. And the closest they've been back to the Premier League was they were in the promotion playoff final several seasons ago. They ended up losing to Brentford, and Brentford have been in the Premier League ever since, and Swansea have been kind of having mixed results in the Championship ever since. They're having, at the time of recording this, they're having a pretty decent start to the Championship, but yeah, this is definitely one of those teams that I would like to see in the Premier League again. And as a matter of fact, they are one of only two Welsh teams to ever play top-flight football, the other one being Cardiff City. Swansea was actually the first Welsh team to be promoted to the Premier League in the Premier League era, and they spent 7 consecutive seasons before they ended up getting relegated at the end of the 2017-18 season. But without further ado, we are going to go ahead and take a look at the squad. And this is a backup team, which I'll talk more in depth about that. But we have to start with Michu, which, one thing I do have to say, that these are not the default ratings, of course. I did bump them up, I should also let you guys know this is a mini career mode, and yes, I did put them in the Champions League, so I wanted to make sure I gave them decent enough ratings. But for those of you that, especially during the early 2010s, as the saying goes, the streets have been talking about Michu, and he's one of the biggest one-hit wonders in Premier League history. Whenever he first signed for Swansea City, he ended up bagging over 20 goals, and was actually, I'm not sure if he actually won the Golden Boot race, but I know he was in the hunt for the Golden Boots, and he had a fantastic debut season with the Swans, and then unfortunately injuries ended up taking a toll on him, and he ended up retiring not that much after that. I think he retired before 2020, so a bit of a tragic story with Michu, but I will never forget his debut season with the club. But you can see, Swansea actually had some decent players, which I do have to say that this Swansea squad is a mix of past and present Swansea players. But you can see I am playing the default formation, which is you could say it's a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-4-1-1. Let me see what, it's considered a 4-5-1, which I would not consider it a 4-5-1, but I'm getting a notification on my, okay, it's not messing up my OBS, thank goodness. But, what was I going to say? What was in the middle of saying before I got interrupted by the thing? But, yeah, past and present Swansea players, De Guzman, I'm going to have him as a cam, but he can also play as center mid. We have Nathan Dyer on the right. And we also have a couple players that were associated with Newcastle as well. Wayne Routledge used to play for the Magpies. John Joe Shelby, Ki Sung Hyung, Federico Fernandez. Or 4 players right off the bat that played for Newcastle. Even our backup striker, Bafatumi Gomi. If I remember correctly, Newcastle and Bafatumi, the club that he played for at the time, which was Lyon. Newcastle and Lyon actually agreed to transfer fee for Gomi, but the deal ended up falling through. I don't exactly remember if it was he that refused to go there or if he failed a medical, but Bafatumi Gomi was very nearly a Newcastle player. And this was around the time that we got Loic Remy on loan. And that was a time I was actually excited for Gomi to come to Newcastle because I had in my head that Remy and Gomi were going to be the new Demba Ba and Papi Cisse, but unfortunately that never materialized. But you can see our back four consisting of I think his first name's Ben Taylor. We have Ashley Williams. He is going to be our captain. Kyle Bartley was actually a free agent in this game, and I ended up transferring him to Swansea, and I'm bumping up his overall. And Angel Rangel is our right back, and then Michel Vorm famously played for Swansea before he moved to Tottenham. I could have put Lucas Fabianski on here, but I decided to go with Vorm instead. Gerhard Trammell will be our backup goalkeeper. I think his first name was Dwight Tiandali. It will be our backup wide back. Of course, I talked about Fernandez. Angel Hernandez will be our backup center mid. Andre Ayew going to be our backup wide midfielder. Marvin Emnes, the Dutchman, he starts off as a striker in this game. He is a default striker in this game, but I end up turning him to a cam. And of course, I mentioned Gomi. And we also got Frank Tabanu in reserves. He is our backup left back. We got Jack Quirk, backup CDM. Which I really should put a Matt on there. And we have Leon Britton, the longtime Swansea player. And then we have Jefferson Montero, our backup wide mid, which he's actually a winger here. And got a couple other players here. Got Adair, reserve striker. We have, I think that's Kiefer Moore, Jay Fulton, Matt Grimes, Kyle Naughton. Which Kyle Naughton? Some of these players I'm not sure. I might actually just keep all these players, but I know some of them are going to be griping about playing time. We have Ben Davies, and then we have Jack Quirk, which I talked about. Jordi Amat will be our 4th string center back. And then you can see our backup team. Why is Dyer should not be in there? It should be Montero. And then we have Gomi, Emnes playing behind him. Hernandez, Britton will be the captain of the backup team. Tiandali, we got Amat, Fernandez, Tabanu. And the reserves look pretty good. I don't know what happened. Montero should have been... Let me see here. Okay, he's got 3-star weak foot, and Montero has 4. Okay, so I am going to leave Montero on the right-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and save changes. And like I said at the beginning of my West Ham career mode, I'm going to say the same thing here. This career mode is not meant to be realistic in the slightest. And you will see that here, especially in the Premier League and the Champions League tables. But one thing I do have to correct myself on because in my West Ham career, beginning episode yesterday, I didn't realize that the fixtures before the season were actually friendlies and not a preseason tournament. Whereas from this FIFA on, you can choose a preseason tournament, and the one that I decided to go with is called the Champions Trophy, and we are grouped alongside Tigres from Mexico, Benfica from Portugal, and River Plate from Argentina, so pretty decent group there. And then the other group is San Lorenzo from Argentina, Universidad Católica, I believe they are from Argentina as well, Torino from Italy, and Athletic Bilbao from Spain. And this tournament is taking place in Argentina, by the way. But we are going to take a look at the Champions Cup. I'm going to show you guys the groups. And we are in Group B alongside Braga, Panathinaikos, and Malaga. And I just want to feature some teams that you normally wouldn't see in a Champions League. Give them a little bit, like Gazalek Ajaccio. Or I think they're either playing the 3rd or 4th division of French football. And this FIFA had Russian teams. Deportivo get promoted back to the Segunda División for this season. Now you can see the Premier League table right here. Again, the Big Six, including Everton, which, well, if you even call it that. I mean, they are a historically big team, but they are not in here. I decided to feature some other teams in there, and I do have Cardiff City in there. That will be our rival match. And then you see we have the FA Cup, the Capital One Cup. Now let's take a look at our inbox here. Domestic Cup, they want us to win the cup. Champions Trophy, which also another thing in my West Ham career mode beginning episode yesterday. I actually did not get the Champions Cup objective until I simmed ahead to the first friendly, but this one they want us to, well, oh, that's, I'm thinking it's the Champions League. No, this is the preseason. So we actually won't get an email until later for our Champions Cup objective, but they do want us to win the Premier League. Our main scout, Bradley Clark, is introducing himself for a scouting report I don't care about, and we are not looking for a new goalkeeper. And also, I am not, since this is a mini career mode, much like my West Ham one, I am not focusing on a youth academy, so I won't be wasting any time with that. But you can see we start off with $25 million in the transfer budget with $230,000 in wages. I won't be touching any of that. There's really no reason for me to. And I really, as far as any transfers, I really don't plan on transferring anybody unless it's somebody low rated. But we are going to go ahead and take a look at our squad here real quick. Wait a minute. But if there's anybody in particular you want to look at, you can just go ahead and pause the video. Like I said, I did alter most of it, at least the starting lineup anyway, which I'm going to show you guys the stats for everybody. Neil Taylor, that's why it's not Ben Taylor. I don't know why I said Ben Taylor. Of course, the former Newcastle players of Ki Sung-hyun and John Joe Shelby. Wayne Routledge also playing for Swansea City. And I'd be lying if I said one of the reasons why I'm not playing why I'm playing this particular career mode is because their kits this year are awesome. Because they kind of remind me, their kits in this FIFA are similar to the ones that they were in which Michu had his breakout season with the gold trim. Which I'll show that here. Now, is it just me or does Gerhard Hummel look a little bit like John McKinley from Scrubs? Jay Fulton, Matthew Grimes. I'm probably going to have some of those guys going out on loan. Adair. Really should move him on, but I would just keep him just in case we get any injuries. Oh, Luke Moore, not... Why did I say Kiefer Moore? Kiefer Moore is the young Welshman, not... And we have a couple players out on loan. Modu Barrow, 65 rated, out on loan on Blackburn. Adam King on loan on Crew Alexandra. Kenji Gore. over in Netherlands at ADO Den Haag. Oliver Davies is at Kilmarnock. Stephen Kingsley also went to Crewe. Connor Roberts went to Yeovil. And with that, I think that pretty much sums up what I wanted to say here. But yeah, I'm going to take a peek at the calendar here real quick. I will be playing this beginning game against Benfica. And I'll probably be simming the rest of the tournament up until if we get to the final, which I'll also be playing that as well. Oh, and our opening match happens to be against Cardiff, and that is an away match at Cardiff Stadium. So that is going to be a big opener right there. And we're also going to be playing this match against Newcastle here at home. But since we only have, compared to West Ham, which we have several rival teams in my West Ham career mode, we really only have Cardiff City as a rival. And then I'm going to also be playing these Champions League matches. I'm probably going to be playing all the away games in the Champions League. And like I said, we were up against Panathinaikos, Braga, and Malaga. And then those will probably be the only ones until January, which will be, I'll do an update video on Christmas. And then I'll probably be putting some more focus on the Champions League. I probably won't show any Premier League games until we clinch it. And I'll also be showing Cup finals as well. So, but that is a look ahead to my Swansea City career mode. I don't think there's really anything for me else to talk about. I will show you the youth staff, which of course is nobody there. Request funds, that feature is still here. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. But next time I see you guys, we will be on July 5th. We will be taking on Benfica in our first preseason game. And I will also say that I am starting things off on professional difficulty. And then once I see how things go with Benfica, then I'll bump it up to world class. And I think towards the second half of the season, or sooner, I'm going to change it to legendary. But I will promise you at some point in this career mode, I will be playing on legendary difficulty. But it has been a while since I played FIFA 16 and FIFA 15, so I'm just trying to get used to these two games again, since I really didn't play these games nearly as much as what I did with FIFA 17, because once that game came out, I was over that one like white on race. But yeah, before I ramble on anymore, like I said, next time I see you guys, we are going to be taking on Benfica in the first preseason game, so hopefully you guys look forward to that. But thank you guys so much for watching this. Hope you guys are enjoying this series, or should I say, hopefully you guys will enjoy this series, and I will see you guys again next time.